The response to my Instagram story on blog post versus YouTube was overwhelming, and all of you said YouTube, and anybody who knows me in real life knows that I am a talker, so that's probably why you said YouTube, because I am a lot more fun in person than I am through typing. And let's be honest, if I typed the same way that I spoke, you guys would be reading a 5-page book about what I ate for breakfast. So first I want to start off by saying thank you so much to everybody who wished us congratulations and said that you were praying for us after our miscarriage, and it really means a lot. And since Mike is not here, I figured that it would be the perfect time for me to kind of go over the stuff that is very specifically me right now. I mean, the first trimester is really just like stuff that's happening within my own body that nobody else really gets to participate in, so that's not really the fun part, but it's really exciting for me just to see the different ways that my body's changing and being really, in tune with myself physically and mentally and spiritually, and being more conscious of pretty much everything that's happening, because I know that anything could affect a baby. So let's see. For starters, the overwhelmingly most asked question when I said, what do you guys want to know, is what are my cravings? Okay, so how we even realized that I was pregnant again in the first place was that every single time that we would leave the house, I wanted sour Skittles. Sour Skittles, like to the point the roof of my mouth was getting raw because I was eating so many sour Skittles. And Mike was like, are you sure? And I just kept ignoring him, and then I was so tired all the time. Like, I would wake up late, and then I would be up for like 2 hours and barely do anything, and then I would be like, I need a nap. So finally, I went and I took one of the tests that I had left over from the pregnancy earlier this year, and it was a digital test, which, if anybody is familiar, those ones take a higher level of HCG to detect. So I was like, even if you're gonna be too early, like you're just doing that, you're gonna upset yourself. And I took it and it said pregnant. And I was like, okay. So I went to the store and I got some line tests, and those came back darker than any of my other ones ever came back. And long story short, it ended up being a super happy, healthy pregnancy. Not to say that we were not like holding our breath during the ultrasound, because both of us were like in the waiting room sweating, just like drenched. And I don't sweat. I do not sweat. I can be outside in like 80-degree heat until now, and I won't sweat like at all. And I was in there like grabbing tissues and like blotting and being like, and it was 15 minutes late. And it's like not a big deal. All doctors' offices are always late, but I'm like rocking back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, I just need to see them. When I see them, I will feel so much better and so much more relaxed. So we finally saw our little baby and we heard the heartbeat, and that was amazing. But yes, sour Skittles were the very first thing. And then I realized that it was just anything sour. Olives, banana peppers, what else is sour? Really sour. Just make me cucumbers and onions soaked in vinegar, fried green tomatoes, and pasta salad, because I've just been wanting like really astringent, like sour stuff. And then also spicy. I've been wanting like Indian food, curries, spicy sausages, breakfast sausage, grilled food with like barbecue sauce, like sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. So I've been really like mostly super sour stuff and super spicy. Probably starting at like 9 or 10 weeks, it got to the point where I was like consistently vomiting, like a lot. I was throwing up before, but it would only be like once a day or so, and now it's like up to like 3 times a day. But mostly that is coming from the fact that I have really bad migraines. And if you've followed me for a while, or if you know me in your personal life, you know that I've had migraines pretty much forever, since I was about 7. Sorry, I'm super thirsty. Since I was about 7, I've gotten really bad migraines, which are typically worse during times when you're like going through high stress or puberty, times when hormones are really high. So I used to get them a lot during high school and college when I was constantly reading or having to focus on something, or I was worked up or stressed out. And then they kind of mellowed out over the last couple of years, and I'd also been able to do, different things to be able to help control it, take different medications, try different herbal supplements and things like that. that you cannot do when you're pregnant. And I also had to cut back on my caffeine intake, which I am a coffee junkie, like 3 cups a day usually. And so the mixture of not being able to take any medications like Excedrin and not being able to do any additional, herbal remedies, and not being able to, have the caffeine that I'm used to having, plus all the hormones that already give you headaches, and then your eyesight sometimes gets worse when you're pregnant. That's a fun one because I already am forever struggling with my eyesight and losing my glasses or needing to get a new prescription and not wanting to make myself an appointment. So all of those things wrapped into one have made it to the point that I'm getting some cripplingly bad migraines all of the time. Plus the heat has been really bad. Luckily, I had an appointment with my midwives earlier this week, and I was able to get some medication that I've taken in the past that's apparently safe for pregnancy. So that should help. I take it at the onset of any migraines, and for me, mine come with something called aura, which means that I see spots and then I get dizzy and it makes me nauseous. I'm already nauseous, so hoping that these medications will help, and I will definitely let you know. If you're somebody who's like a migraine sufferer and you're curious as to what I'm taking, just ask and I'll let you know, and I'll let you know how it's working for me or how it's worked for me in the past. So those have been like my biggest problems that I've been having. That, and recently I'm having issues with swelling. I've had problems, if you had seen some of my stories kind of in the fall of last year, right before the wedding, my left leg started swelling, and we have believed that it was due to a dog bite that I got late last summer, early fall. And so I would get intermittent swelling in my leg and pain in my leg. And I've had several ultrasounds done that have said, hey, there's nothing to be worried about. You don't have any blood clots. It's like not a big deal, but it's still painful and uncomfortable. And I hate the way it looks. That's a super cosmetic issue. But aside from that, it's like painful and uncomfortable. So I am having a lot of issues with that. So I'm going to go see a doctor about that. They're sending me to a neurologist about the migraines, just so that they don't continue to get worse through pregnancy. And lately now I'm having issues with being comfortable while I'm sleeping. Micah is so tired of the pillows. I have a serious pillow problem. I have like 2 regular pillows in the bed and like a memory foam neck pillow and a boppy that I keep, like I sleep between my legs with. I need to just get one of those big, long, like pregnancy pillows, because I'm finally at that point where I'm like, you shouldn't sleep on your back. I don't want to sleep on my back. I'm not super comfortable sleeping on my stomach anyway because I'm so busty. So it just makes it kind of hard for me to breathe, honestly. So I've always been a side sleeper, but if I sleep on one side for too long, I get like cramps for some reason. So then I have to switch to the other side, and then I'm like tossing and turning, and then I also have to get up and pee 5 billion times a night. When they say that pregnant people pee all the time, it's not a joke. Like, I thought that I already went to the bathroom enough that it wasn't really going to bother me during pregnancy, because I already, before I was even pregnant, I have to pee every 5 minutes. But when I say it's literally every 3 seconds, like I can leave the bathroom, and as I'm walking back to where I was before, I have to pee again. And it's like as soon as I drink something, and I'm always thirsty, and I'm trying to like maintain my water intake all the time, and then I just have to pee all the time. So pretty much, Micah says, like, that's my life. I throw up, eat, sleep, and pee. And I don't even eat that much. Like, my appetite has been, for the most part, like, if I don't crave it and I don't really, really want it, I don't want it at all. Like, I'll ask for things sometimes and take, like, 1 or 2 bites, and then I'm like, that was good. That was enough. I feel content. I don't really need any more of that. So I'm working on that, too, just, like, being better about finishing my meals, because I'm still in this place where I'm making these huge meals that I'm used to making, because Micah eats a good amount, and then I usually like to have something for leftovers, but I haven't wanted leftovers either. So I've just been like really, really picky, and I'm working on that. Let's see, what else? My skin. Oh, I have never really been somebody that had problems with my skin. For the most part, like occasional hormonal acne, like around like time for my period and stuff like that, but it has never been that bad. And I feel like you can't really see it right now, but I'm getting some like around my chin And then I'm getting these tiny ones here and on my forehead, like almost like heat bumps everywhere. And I feel like those are worse than like the big ones because like my skin, I feel like it feels like sandpaper. And I'm like oily all the time, which normally I have super dry skin. And when we went to the beach, I like kept myself lathered in sunscreen and still, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it too bad here, but I'm like peeling. Like all little blonde kiddos I went with, and none of them burned, but I did. My arms, my shoulders, and my chest all burned and are now peeling. And so I need to just like get a scrub and just exfoliate my whole body and like soak in a bathtub of oil or something, because my skin right now is just like, ooh, it's driving me crazy. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't like changes. I'm so used to things really being very low maintenance for me in terms of my hair and my makeup and my skin. And speaking of hair, I want to shave my head. That's pretty much how I feel already. So if we have a girl, I'm definitely just going to have to shave my head, because there's no way that I'm doing my hair and her hair. It's just not going to happen, because I keep going like 6 or 7 days at a time where I will wear my hair in a bun for the last 4 or 5 days of that. And then by the time I take it out, it's like all one big dreadlock, like all one big matted together mess. And it takes me forever then to get in the shower and actually detangle it. And my arms get tired and I'm lazy and I get overheated in the shower. And then I don't want to do anything, which is already kind of the theme recently, is I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to clean my kitchen. I don't want to put on pants. I really don't want to put on pants. That's really the main thing right now, is I don't want to put on pants. I don't like anything. Right now I'm not at the point where I have like too much of a bump. Like most of it's just bloat. Like I'm super bloated, and I know that eventually that will like turn into the bump, but I'm already in a place where I don't like anything on my stomach. Like I don't want it to be tight on my stomach. I don't want elastic there. Definitely don't want buttons. I don't know what jeans are. I haven't worn jeans in forever. That's not working for me. It's not gonna work for me probably for a long time. But I'm not at the place yet where I really need to go like buy maternity clothes. So I'm in this weird in-between place where all I want to do is wear oversized t-shirts and no pants. And unfortunately, that's kind of frowned upon in public and also when you work with children. So I've been having to find some yoga pants and some, like workout shorts and stuff like that I can, more easily throw on. A lot of dresses because they're not touching me. It's too hot. I just don't want things touching me, because for the first time in my life, I'm sweating. I don't know how you guys do this whole sweating thing. It's not for me. And I really hope that after the baby, it goes away, because I don't like it. The feeling of like moistness. Yeah, that word. I'm going to say it because that's how gross it feels to me. Moist. I don't like feeling that on my skin. Oh. Just thinking about it, I'm just happy I'm inside right now where it's cool, because I have been spending a lot of days recently outside. And normally I love being outside and I love it when it's hot outside, but being pregnant and being hot and wanting to throw up and being stuck in a car, it's not fun. I can literally drive like 5 minutes away and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up now, so I need to pull over, or I need a bag or something because I'm hot and I'm gonna throw up. And that's not fun. So I'm hoping now that we're past that 12-week mark, which I'm so excited about, because that's that when you have lost a baby, or when you've possibly lost multiple babies, that is a completely different story. Miscarriages is something that I will talk about, at a later date. But when you've lost a baby, you are so paranoid that everything could be dangerous, that you need to be super on pins and needles about everything, and all you want to do is hit that second trimester when the, risk of miscarriage goes down to like 2 or 3%. And so that's pretty much, I've been like holding my breath, and we're here. It feels good to just be able to be like, oh, we're here. And the baby is doing really well. I went in on Wednesday and didn't have another ultrasound done, but we did. I was able to listen on the Doppler and hear their heartbeat, and they were able to find it super quickly. They were all actually able to find their heartbeat at 9 weeks on the Doppler, which they said is not like super common. A lot of time it is really hard or takes a long time, and we've been able to find the heartbeat really quickly both times. And I know they say like higher heartbeat, faster as a girl, lower as a boy. Well, first time at 9 weeks, it was pretty high, almost 170. And this time it is a lot lower, between 148 and 152. So we'll see. I'm pretty indifferent. I feel like most moms, I mean, unless you've seen like these crazy Twitter people that like cry during their gender reveals, I'm going to be that stereotypical, I'm just happy if they're healthy and have 10 fingers and 10 toes. I don't care if it's a boy. I don't care if it's a girl. I don't care if it's a unicorn or an alien. You know, it's mine. They're mine, and I'm excited. Micah wants a boy, naturally. I feel like most men just really, really want a boy. Our families are pretty split, though. You know, my mom and my nana want a boy. My dad wants a girl. His mom wants a girl. His brothers want a girl, because his family literally only makes boys, no women. The youngest girl in their family is like a generation above us. No one like in their 20s, no one in their teens, no girls, all boys. And all of them who have had kids, it's been boys. And he has 2 brothers, and one of his brothers has a son. It's just like, there are no girls to spoil or, you know, buy girl stuff for. So everybody is kind of excited for that possibility. On my side of the family, we're pretty mixed. We have a good, even, you know, split between guys and girls. So I'm really excited to find out. We'll probably be finding out around mid-August to the end of August. So stay tuned for that. Do you have a preference? Are you hoping for one or the other? Do you want to see a little Micah? Do you want to see a little Leah? Are you looking forward to Micah and a boy and his matching Jordans? Are you looking forward to me and a girl and our matching hairdos? Let us know in the comments. I'm actually really curious to hear this. I feel like there are going to be some people who are going to surprise me as to what they want us to have. I already know a few of my friends are like, pretty much have already started calling them what our girl name is or what our boy name is. So, and yes, we have names picked out. We have had at least one boy name, Solid, and one girl name, Solid, picked out since 2013. If we do the math, roll that back. In 2013, Micah and I were probably 17 years old, and we have had the same names picked out since we were 17. So if at any point, before I'm able to announce if this baby is a boy or a girl and announce their name, somebody takes one of our names, I will pull out the screenshots from my notes from 2013, because I do not care. I will still name my child these names because I've had them picked out for years. I'm not giving it up just because somebody else names their kid these names. And that might be petty, but you can call me Petty Patty because it's not happening. Your whole life, for some people, you think about what it's going to be like when you're pregnant and what it's going to be like when you have a baby in your hands. And today, my old boss and now friend, Alita, introduced her new baby girl, number 2, into the world. So congratulations on that, and happy birthday, Evelyn. And I don't know, just seeing it, I'm like, all right, it could be January. I can like skip trimester 2 and 3. I just want to see them. Like, I'm just ready for the baby part. And I never thought that I would be like that. I felt like I would always be somebody who really, and not to say I don't enjoy being pregnant, because I'm very early on, and I do definitely enjoy this feeling right now of it just being like just me and the baby and just that closeness. But I just want to see them, and I wonder what they're gonna look like, and I wonder what their personality will be like, and I wonder what their hair will be like, and I wonder what music they'll respond to, and I don't know, everything. I wonder what their first words are gonna be. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. I'm just like over the moon excited, and Micah is super excited, and he is gonna be so cute as a dad. I feel like he is gonna be like the ultimate Instagram dad, because right now if you go to his page, it's already only extreme life events, like, Jaleel being born or us getting married or occasionally a birthday or something, but it's not really, he's not a casual poster. So I feel like if you don't like seeing babies, then you might as well just unfollow us both, because I feel like we're gonna be those people that are like, we're so happy and we love our family and look at how cute we think we are. But it's also going to be a lot of real life stuff. It's going to be what we're arguing about when it comes to having a baby, or what we think we need or don't need, or parenting, figuring out what that means for us. We got to a point, we've kind of grown together and figured out ourselves and figured out what we like and what we don't like and what works for us, and what each of us struggles with personally, and how we work through that together. And now this is like an entirely new journey to go through, and I plan to be, and I think Micah also plans to be, and this is shocking to some of you, because I think a lot of people think he is a very reserved person, and while he is super private for the most part, like, I think that a lot of people just don't really get his personality or how we work as a unit, because I'm so kind of in your face and outgoing, and he's more like laid back and chill. So I think it's going to be really cool to put more things like this out there, so that you guys can get to know each of us and get to know our personalities and get to know kind of how things work, because I feel like there aren't a lot of like young, especially young Black couples that are married and with a kid and in, media. You've got a lot of like YouTube couples that do a lot of things that don't really matter, and not to say that we won't do silly stuff like pranks or different trending videos, or like trying snacks from around the world or things like that, but we'll also do a lot of stuff that really matters and talk about things that are sometimes difficult to talk about, and be really open about the fact that marriage takes work, and that parenting is going to take work, and that it's not always going to be easy, because that's not who we want to be. We don't want to put out this facade of being this like perfect couple or perfect family or perfect people, because nobody's perfect. And we all, fall short of, God's grace, and we all fall short of expectations that we even set for ourselves. And so I never want anyone to look at me or look at him or look at anything and think that things are not difficult for us. So that's why I try to be very open with my struggles with, anxiety and depression. And I'm going to try to be a lot more open, in terms of this pregnancy, and how my migraines are affecting me in days that I'm completely out of commission and that I can't do anything. And, I don't want anyone who, I've had a lot of people be like, you're glowing and this, and I don't feel that way right now. Right now I feel like I'm puffy. I feel like my skin is bad. I feel like, half the time I don't have the energy to get myself ready. I feel like none of my clothes fit. And half the time I have no energy, and my head hurts. Like pretty much every single day I have at least a headache of a 7 out of 10 on a regular person's scale. And when I have a migraine, that's what you call a 12 out of 10. That most of the time it's like I'm getting through the day, and with each passing moment I'm thinking I should go to the hospital right now. And sometimes I do, and I need to get an IV, and I need to get fluids because I'm dehydrated, because the idea of even drinking water makes me nauseous. And I want people to realize that pregnancy is different for every single person. Marriage looks different for every single person. Parenting looks different for every single person. And I want you guys to feel comfortable ever asking any questions that you want to ask, regarding anything. And I hope that I covered most of what you were, expecting in terms of first trimester. For the most part, it's really uneventful, other than just being sick all the time, like really sick. So this is coming up on the fun part, where hopefully I get a lot of my energy back. Maybe I do get a glow. Maybe my skin gets a little better. Maybe my hair gets a little bit longer, not thicker, just longer. Hopefully, I do a pretty good job in terms of maintaining my weight. That is something that I'm going to be very honest, I'm nervous about. I am already, pre-diabetic and pretty susceptible to having gestational diabetes. Luckily, at this point, I'm on track in terms of my weight gain for first trimester, which is I haven't gained any weight. Because for a lot of people, they're like, I gained 40 pounds, I gained 30 pounds. And when you start off as somebody who's, 120, 130, 140, that's normal. For me, I'm starting off already in the high hundreds. So I don't want to gain more than 15 or 20 pounds, because that's all that's absolutely necessary for my body type in order to have a healthy pregnancy. So anything in addition to that is going to be hard on me for my size, for how tall I am, for my bone structure, for my joints, and for the baby. And so that is something that I think that I will probably struggle with in the next 2 trimesters, and something I want to be really open about, and how I'm, working through that. So if you're somebody who also, was already curvier when you got pregnant and that was something that you were worried about, let me know. How did you exercise? What were some of the things that you ate? What were some of the things that you tried to stay away from? And I'm just trying to work through all of the things and try not to be too hard on myself. I think being a nanny for so many years, I've become a little bit of a perfectionist, and I feel like I know what's good for babies, and I know what's good for pregnant women. I know what's good for breastfeeding. I know what's best for, sleeping, and what are the best, clothing, and what's the best, little trinkets that you need or don't need. And I actually don't know anything. Every single baby is different. I have helped raise at least 10 children across Columbus, and every single one of them is a completely different little human. And so at the end of the day, I will call my mom, and I will call my boss, and I'll call my grandma, and I'll call my cousin Natalie every single day probably, and say, why are they doing this? And should they be doing this? And are they breathing? I feel like they're breathing, but at the same time, they don't really seem like they're breathing. And that's normal, and that's okay. And nobody should feel the pressure to know everything, or to feel like you need to be this perfect parent, because there is no perfect parent. And I have to drill that into my own head sometimes. There is no perfect parent, and I'm gonna make mistakes, and I hope that I'm going to be humble enough to be very open about those mistakes when I make them, so that nobody looks at me and thinks, oh, she's got it all figured out. She's been doing this for so long and she knows everything. I know a lot of things, because I have been doing this for a long time, and I'm the oldest of 5, and I've been nannying specifically infants for years. But like I said, every kid is different, every pregnancy is different, and I'm really excited to kind of share all of this with you guys, and hopefully do some more fun videos with Micah, so that you guys can kind of see our dynamic of how we are together. Do a lot more vlogs of like going out and when we're going shopping for things, and let you guys know kind of what's going to be on our registry, and share our baby shower with you, and our gender reveal, and all of those types of things, all the fun stuff that comes along with it. So look forward to that, and stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and that way you can get all the updates. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Curly in Columbus, and that's pretty much where I hang out most of the time. Micah likes to hang out over on Twitter. He loves Twitter. He thinks Twitter's hilarious, but today he was talking about deleting it, so maybe don't go ahead and follow him just yet. He might be going on a social media hiatus. I'll let you guys know. But you can catch me here and on Curly in Columbus, and I'm excited to let you guys know how the rest of this goes, because this is something that I've been waiting for my whole life.